Hey, welcome. Today, we're going to break down a potential solution to a problem that, let's be honest, a lot of us are dealing with every single month: the cost and the pure chaos of all our streaming subscriptions. $62. Just look at that number for a second. That is what the average household is shelling out every single month for multiple streaming services. And we all know that number is only going one way, right? Up. I mean, does this feel familiar? You scroll through your monthly charges and it's just a long list: Netflix, Hulu, Max, Disney Plus, and maybe a few others you forgot you even signed up for. If so, you have definitely felt that subscription fatigue. Okay, so let's dive right into this modern day headache. We're calling it the streaming overload because really it's about so much more than just the money. It's the whole juggling act of bills, passwords, and just trying to figure out what to watch. You know, this really is the perfect way to describe it. It feels like you're lost in a digital jungle. You're constantly hopping between different apps, trying to remember which password goes where, and half the time you're paying for stuff you barely even use. And what's really wild is what this chart shows us. Just look at that trend. The number of services we're all subscribing to has just exploded in the last few years. And yep, it's projected to keep right on climbing. And all that does is create more confusion and, of course, higher costs. In this quote, I mean, it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? That feeling of being totally overwhelmed is really the heart of the issue. Entertainment is supposed to be relaxing, but it's kind of turned into a chore. But what if there was a way out of this jungle? You know, a clear path that could simplify the whole thing. Well, that's exactly the idea we're going to explore right now. So, here's the most important thing to get right away. StreamOn is not another streaming service. You're not subscribing to new content. Think of it more like a management tool. It doesn't replace your favorites, it just organizes them and makes them, well, smarter and cheaper to handle. And the magic behind the scenes? It's all powered by this underlying made with emergent technology. That's the smart system working in the background, analyzing your subscriptions, and figuring out the absolute best way to bundle them to save you money. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. How does this actually work for you? Turns out, it's pretty darn simple. And really, it just comes down to these 3 steps. 1, you securely connect your existing accounts. 2, the system does all the hard work and suggests the cheapest bundle for you. And 3, you say yes, and that's it. You start saving. 1 bill, lower price. It's totally designed to be a set it and forget it kind of thing. So, what are the big wins here? After you're all set up, what's the actual payoff for you? And this just lays it out perfectly. It's a total night and day difference. On the left, you've got the mess most of us are living in now. Confusing bills, high costs, jumping from app to app. And on the right, that's the goal. 1 clear bill, a lower cost, and everything simplified. This chart is a great way to see it. Think about your whole entertainment budget. You see that huge slice for streaming? Well, StreamOn's whole job is to just carve out a piece of that. Real savings for money you're already spending without making you give up any of the shows you love. And we're not talking about a couple of bucks here. The potential average savings could be up to 25% on your total streaming bill every year. When you think about that over 12 months, it really adds up. All right, but to give you the full story, we have to talk about the details. So let's cover a few key things you'd want to keep in mind. This kind of transparency is super important, right? So first, the bundles you can get depend on which streaming services are partners. The great news is it's totally contract-free, so you have a ton of flexibility. Also, things like family sharing still follow the rules of, say, Netflix or Hulu. And one last thing, remember, this is a tool for your bills, not a what should I watch tonight guide. So if we take a big step back for a second, what does something like StreamOn tell us about the future? Where is all of this heading? You know, it's a pretty fascinating cycle. For years, everybody was excited about cutting the cord to get away from that one giant cable bill. But maybe all we did was trade one big bill for a dozen little messy ones. And now it feels like the pendulum is swinging back toward putting things together again, only this time, hopefully, with us in control. And that really leaves us with one final, pretty interesting thought. In our big quest for total control, for picking and choosing everything we want, are we just accidentally rebuilding the exact same kind of bundle we tried so hard to get away from? It's definitely something to chew on.